What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. Today, I will be showcasing the best loadout, in my opinion, for farming the K1 Crew Quarters Lost Sector. The difference between this series of videos over my last series is I am now at 1330 light and showing off how to do these lost sectors quickly and efficiently for farming exotics. The first series was showing how to get clears on each character, specifically when you are under light. The type of strats you should utilize when you are under leveled if you are trying to get the new exotics. In this series, we will be showing loadouts for completing the lost sectors as quickly as possible. So with that out of the way, let's jump into it. The first thing we'll look at are the lost sector modifiers. This is a fallen lost sector, so we will be dealing with barrier servitors and overload captains. We have hot knife, which adds solar shields to shanks. Attrition, which is the worst modifier in these lost sectors and greatly impairs health regen. You must pick up a well of light to initiate health regen. The usual master modifiers being extra champions, locked loadout, match game, and extra shields. Memory of a haunted dream, which increases void and aerial damage. Desolate charge, which gives 50% extra damage to arc, both dealt and received. And of course, limited revives. Now let's look at the build. We're on Middle Tree Stormcaller, Attunement of Control. We're running Pulse Grenades and Healing Rifts. The Healing Rifts will help us counteract the effects of attrition. Anytime attrition is a modifier, I strongly recommend using a Warlock because of this. We have the Exotic Boots Geomag Stabilizers to give us a more potent Chaos Reach super. For the weapons, we have the Succession Sniper Rifle with Anti-Barrier Sniper, the Trinity Ghoul Exotic with Overload Bow, and the Shining Sphere Arc Rocket Launcher. I was running a new Font of Light build with Elemental Ordnance on the helmet. This causes a well of light to drop after a grenade kill. Elemental Charge, which will give us 2 stacks of Charge with Light for picking up a well that matches our subclass element. Font of Wisdom, which will decrease our super cooldown, allowing us to get Chaos Reach quicker. High Energy Fire to give our weapons a buff to damage when charged with light. And I had Elemental Ordnance, which normally buffs rockets, but it's basically negated by High Energy Fire here. I could have ran something like Charged Up or Supercharged to get more stacks of Charge with Light. But that's it for the build. Let's look at the run. Right off the bat, you want to deal with as many adds as you can, and Trinity Ghoul is very good with that. However, if you kill all the adds, then a second Overload Captain will spawn in, but basically you just want to deal with the adds and captains as quickly as possible. Healing Rifts come in very handy here. Arc damage resistance is also highly recommended in this lost sector, as it is arc burn, and basically all the adds do arc damage. Additionally, you want to run as high of recovery and discipline as you can. Discipline will get you your grenades quicker, and we're using them to spawn Font of Light wells, which will give us charge with light and reduce our super cooldown. And the high recovery will give you a quicker cooldown on your rifts. Once the adds and champions are all down, you will have 2 solar shielded shanks to deal with. But this loadout does not have any solar in it. Trinity Ghoul is actually pretty decent at taking down the shields, but if you do not want to deal with not having solar, I would recommend the Tiku's Divination, or stick around to the end of the video to check out a secondary loadout that I tried for this lost sector. I still prefer Trinity Ghoul here though for 2 reasons. One, the lost sector is arc burn, so this bow is doing 50% extra damage, and 2, because everything else in our loadout is arc. And if you have the catalyst for this bow, then arc damage kills will proc its lightning rod perk. So you can basically keep your arc chaining arrows active through this whole lost sector. And this lost sector has a lot of adds to deal with, and this bow is great with ad clear. This part of the lost sector can be a huge pain. Marauders will spawn and push up on you, and for whatever reason, I always have a hard time dealing with Marauders. This is another reason I really like Trinity Ghoul. It is very forgiving when you have the perk proc, as you just need to land your volley of arrows near an ad to do damage to it. Another annoying thing about this part is the barrier servitor. They will make ads immune, so take it out as fast as possible. If you are getting pelted by a bunch of immune ads, you can also use your Chaos Reach here, as supers negate immunity shields. Yet another great thing about Trinity Ghoul in this lost sector is that adds often hide behind cover, and if you have Lightning Rod active, then you can shoot near that cover to take out the adds as they're hiding. Here you can see how annoying barrier servitors are. You want to always prioritize them as they will make ads immune. But here I had a good look at the overload captain and decided to go for it. I was just about to restun the captain and then I could have fired a rocket to finish it off. But just as I draw back the arrow to stun, boom, immune. This is super annoying and one of the many reasons I do not like farming fallen lost sectors. Here again we have some solar shielded shanks, just chip them down with the bow and move on. Try to get this captain down quickly as it will make the boss fight quite a bit easier. You won't have to deal with him constantly shooting you as you try and kill ads and damage the boss. That is why I died earlier. He was in a good spot so I wanted to post up and keep him there, but I didn't get my rift down in time and he melted me. The boss fight is not too bad. Wretches will spawn and rush you every once in a while, so watch out for that. And as always, deal with the barrier servitor as quickly as you can. But just stay near the ramp for cover and you should be fine. Once you take out the barrier servitor, then you should cast your chaos reach to melt the boss and then you add. And then you're done. If you are interested, I have another build that you can try that utilizes an underrated exotic, and a new weapon that I have been wanting to test out, so stick around for that. In this loadout, we are using the same subclass and a very similar build to the last one as far as armor mods. The only difference is on the bond we are running sustained charge, which will get us charged with light for getting machine gun kills. And then for weapons we are running the Whispering Slab bow, the exotic sniper rifle Borealis, and the arc machine gun the Swarm. Mine is the adept version with outlaw and one for all. I have one with Vorpal weapon, but figured I would be using it more for ad clear, so I would use the one with the higher damage buff that works on red bars. If you don't know what Borealis does, it is unique in that it can fire all three elements, arc, void, and solar. What is great about this is you can use it to pop the solar shields, but then swap to arc to get the 50% bonus damage. Additionally, it is a high impact sniper that can hold 5 in the magazine. And lastly, and I didn't realize this, but it feels amazing to shoot. I have not used Borealis since I switched to PC, and the stability is amazing. It is actually a great and underrated weapon to be using this season because of anti-barrier sniper. That is why I wanted to include it in this video. because I feel like very few people are talking about it. Also, it has an exotic perk called Ionic Return, which gives you a 40% damage buff if you pop a matching elemental shield. The buff will last for the duration of the magazine until you reload again. So when I pop a solar shield on a shank, it will do 40% more damage until my next reload. This can be very powerful, say in a Grandmaster Nightfall, if there was one with lots of shields. In this case, you will want to still use the arc because of the 50% damage buff, but just something to note, it is a great sniper, and if you haven't used it, try giving it a whirl. But that is going to do it from me. I will let this run play out so you can see what a machine gun can do in fairly high level content. If this video helped you in some way, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Happy exotic farming and take care.